Did you know that two unmarried veterans can buy a house together using a VA loan? But if you have one person being a vet and the other person not, and they're not married, the second person cannot be on that loan. Hey, Melanie Montague with Montague Properties. Living in Maryland with Montague Properties is this YouTube page. If you've never been here before, we talk everything Maryland, from places to live, places to go, things to see, weather patterns, goods, bads, or indifferences. And it is all right here on Living in Maryland with Montague Properties. If this is your first time to our page, please subscribe, click the bell button, and if you're interested in knowing more, feel free to schedule a one-to-one appointment with me or a member of my team, and you'll be able to have that link right from our YouTube page and our banner. Today, we're going to talk about the VA and VA loans because Maryland is riddled with military people, and they come here and they want to live here, and they've got one of the best benefits that you can get, which is the VA loan. It's a guaranteed loan program, and it is something that all military people should know about. But there's a lot of things about a VA loan that people just don't understand or know or have been taught. So let's get right to it, and I'm going to share some really cool information with you. So let's talk about the VA loan. It is a no money down program. It's one of the best programs out there, and it offers no money down for the military person or veteran anywhere in the United States that they are. So you don't have to qualify for it in a certain area as other loan programs may be offered. This one is for anybody that's been in the military, currently in the military, that has earned those benefits. It's a guaranteed loan program, no money down. So virtually they can get in with very little money, earnest money deposit that can be refunded to them at settlement to buy a house. That is amazing. So a lot of people think that they can only use their VA benefit one time and one time only. Guys, that's not true. You can use it multiple times. Yes, I said multiple times. There is a funding fee with it, and the funding fee does go up every time you use it, but it's a guaranteed loan. So sometimes using your VA loan over and over again makes a lot of sense if you're moving from one place to another. So here's the thing about that. There's eligibility. So eligibility is something that is given based on the location of the property that the veteran or the military person is looking to purchase. It is not something that the VA says, hey, here is what your eligibility is based on rank or time or anything like that. It is really actually set on where you're going to live. So that's what's interesting, because Charles County, Maryland, the limit is over $1 million. $1 million. So no money down on $1 million loan if you wanted to buy something like that. Pretty stinking incredible. Surviving spouses of a vet, listen up. You may have eligibility to utilize the VA loan program. If your spouse passed away or was injured in wartime, you may have eligibility to utilize the VA loan. All you have to do is talk to the Veterans Administration to find out. That is a huge benefit. Huge. These people sacrifice their lives for us. That is amazing. So VA loans are also assumable. We've heard that name and that word a lot lately, assumable mortgage, assumable mortgage. Here's the thing about assumable mortgages for a VA. So if you own a property, you're the seller, you're selling your property, and you want to offer it out as assumable to somebody, another vet comes along and wants to utilize that opportunity and assume your mortgage for a lower interest rate, which is why you do that. Of course, there's other things like paying the difference of the loan balance and a couple of other things that you have to know. Yet, if they wanted to do that, that could be done. Here's the concern with people is if you're not a vet and you want to assume a VA loan from somebody who has that on a property, you can do that. But the veteran needs to understand that they lose their eligibility until that VA loan is either refinanced or paid off, to make that eligibility come back to them to use that loan again. So if a non-veteran wants to purchase the property, You have to get a release of eligibility so that you can reuse your VA eligibility again to purchase your next property or a property later. Here's another really super cool thing. So let's just say you buy a property with your VA loan. Then what ends up happening is time goes by, you decide to refinance your house into a conventional loan. So you refinance out of the VA loan into a conventional loan. Now your eligibility is restored and you can go buy another house with your VA eligibility. All right, another really cool thing of the VA is that they allow a seller to pay up to 4% of a sales price for a buyer who's using a VA loan towards debt. Debt, you guys, credit cards. Pay that stuff off with the seller's money. 4% of the sales price. Prepaids are things such as closing costs or things outside of closing costs. And also points. Points would be something to pay the interest rate down. And then you can still get closing costs from the seller on top of that to cover your closing costs if the market allows that to be. So you virtually could get a house with no money. 4% for the sales price for debts. All right, so here's something else that we hear all the time. We hear all the time that the appraisal is different. It's harder, it's this, it's that. Guess what, guys? It's not any harder. Appraisers are trained to make sure that property values equal what the sales price is and what's going on in the marketplace around them. The VA does not hire appraisers to go out there and be like hard donkeys for everybody. What they do is they're hiring people to make sure that the price of the house equals the market. So a VA appraiser does not hinder a sale for you in any way. Now, have we had some that are more difficult? Yes, but I've had them in all loan types. So it's not just the VA. And the one thing that people get really confused on with VA is they think there's a second inspection, or the VA sends somebody out to do this inspection of the property and they say, is it gonna pass? Let me tell you, there is no passing of an inspection. The inspection they're talking about is the appraiser. When the appraiser comes out to the property, they are looking for safety, health, and structural issues. Now, they are not gonna climb through the house like a home inspector if they see chipping, peeling paint, they see something that is not appropriate or mold. They're definitely going to bring that up, and it definitely is going to be on the appraisal, and it definitely is going to have to be taken care of. Yet there is no second inspection, because guess what, guys? The appraisers do that on every single type of loan when they're walking through. It's not just VA, it is all of them. So VA is no exception to that appraisal rule. There is no second inspection. Did you know that 2 unmarried veterans can buy a house together using a VA loan? But if you have one person being a vet and the other person not, and they're not married, the second person cannot be on that loan. All right, so this is always a big topic of discussion. What are the required inspections for a VA loan? So it's a well water test. So if the house is on a well, wood destroying insects to make sure there's nothing that's eating the house or the wood in the house. And what most people tend to often think is that a septic inspection is mandatory. Here is what's really cool. It's not. The only time that a septic inspection is mandatory for a VA loan is if by chance the appraiser asks for it and asks for it to be done. That is the only time. So the only 2 mandatory inspections on a VA house is a well test and a wood destroying insect test. There you got it. All right, so let's just say you had a VA loan, you lost your house to foreclosure or to a short sale, and you think that you've lost your entitlement to get another VA loan. That's not true. What it is that you can get your entitlement, but it'll be the difference of, or short, the difference of what that amount was that they paid for you. So let's just say you owed $200,000, that house went to foreclosure. Let's just say you wanted to buy a house that was $700,000. Your entitlement would be less the difference that you didn't pay. So why is all this so important for the state of Maryland and living in Maryland? Because again, like I said at the beginning of this video, we have so much military that moves in and out of our counties here in the state of Maryland because we are surrounded by military bases, also government agencies in Washington, D.C., and also Northern Virginia, and also in different places of Maryland. So it's very important for you to understand and know that most military people don't know all their benefits rights. They don't know all of the things. So hopefully some of this information that I brought to you today will help you know that. If you want to set up a one-on-one appointment with me to discuss, I can get you in contact with a lender or somebody that can really guide you through that. Schedule a one-on-one appointment with me. Please subscribe. Please hit the bell so you're notified every week when we put out our new video. And I hope to see you next time here talking about living in Maryland. Take care.